I look beyond.
No, you do not.
The woman has been up since 5 in the morning. I went to bed at 1:30.
The woman looks amazing.
I woke up 5 times, having nightmares as always. I have like dreams of like my real life. Like when I was like taken from my house, like by people and like being locked up somewhere. Hi. Hi. You're so gorgeous.
Thank you. What have you guys been doing?
Chilling, just thinking about life and why I have nightmares. Remember that like random school I went to?
In Salt Lake City?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember like 7 years ago, I was in Europe and I met someone who was at one of those places with you and I put you on the phone with them?
What did he say?
That you guys were at this place and it was just like mental. It was like abuse.
There's Paris. Here we are at Paris's school. Here's Starry's room.
Did you visit me there?
I don't remember, but then I saw a video. Wasn't I there?
You don't remember it?
No.
I feel like we both blocked it out. Mom and Dad always loved like hiding things from
Everything. They're the king and queen of sweeping everything under the rug.
Yeah.
My parents always hid everything from us. So I would listen on the phone. That's how I got all my intel. And I remember it was a school night. It was the middle of the night. And I just heard screaming, bloody murder. I knew there was a takedown in the works. I didn't know it was people coming in and capturing her.
I thought I was being kidnapped. I started screaming for my mom and dad, like, help me. And no one came. As they were taking me, I saw my parents standing by their door, crying. And I was like, please help me, what's happening? And no one would tell me what was happening.
And then in the morning, it was breakfast, and Paris didn't come to the breakfast table. And then my parents were like smiling, like everything's fine, and we didn't ask any questions. And then I think they said she like went to boarding school.
The last school that I went to was Provo Canyon School. And that was the worst of the worst. There's no getting out of there. You're sitting on a chair, staring at a wall all day long, getting yelled at or hit. I felt like a lot of the people who work there got off on torturing children and seeing them naked. They would prescribe everyone all these pills. I didn't know what they were giving me. I would just feel so tired and numb. Some people in that place were just gone. Like the lights are on, no one's home. A lot of people were on suicide watch. And I was so scared that was gonna happen to me. So eventually, I found out a way to not take the pills. But everyone would tell on everyone, and they found a Kleenex with all of the pills in it. And I got in so much trouble for that. Solitary confinement. Like something out of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. They'd make people take their clothes off and go in there like for 20 hours. Felt like I was going crazy. Someone was in the other room that was like in a straitjacket, screaming. I was just freezing, I was starving. I I was alone, I was scared. My parents were in New York. They didn't know. But I was so angry and so upset that I hated them. I was at Provo for 11 months. And the only thing that saved my sanity was thinking about what I wanted to do and who I wanted to become when I got out of there. I was gonna do everything in my power to be so successful that my parents could never control me again. I don't know if my nightmares will ever go away, but I do know that there's probably hundreds of thousands of kids who are going through the same thing right now. And maybe if I can help stop their nightmares, it will help me stop mine. I've been looking for my old roommates and people I became friends with there, and I'm meeting one of the survivors from the school. I'm so shy.
Are you nervous because you're shy, or you're nervous because you're nervous to start this?
Everything. It's a lot, and I don't know what I'm walking into. A couple years ago when I started researching and going into it, and everything was coming back to me, I wanted to do something, but at the same time, I was like, this is gonna hurt my brand. I can't have this as part of my business, and you know, people won't understand. But if I don't do this, it's gonna continue to happen, and I'm gonna continue to always be traumatized and think about it for the rest of my life. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Long time no see. I don't know if
Yeah.
you recognize me. I looked very different
Yes.
back then. Hey.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, no problem. It's weird that like a lot of survivors, they wake up like after like 15, 20 years and like, wow, like it hits them and they are ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
So Provo Canyon School, it's been this beast that's been around for 50 years. But every once in a while, some employees would decide that it's going to be great if they open their own programs. So PCS not only is responsible for the kids they abuse, but like all these sister programs that branched out and made the troubled teen industry. There are other celebrities that went through PCS, and I won't say their name, especially not on camera, but like you're the first one to bravely speak up.
It needs to stop. Like, I literally want to go there and be like, all right, we're going in and we're taking all these kids out. Or
With a big-
trying to
big
talk to
bus.
them. I don't know, but I don't know what they'd probably call the cops and go crazy.
So I was gonna show you like all the support you have from Raina and Elizabeth. Elizabeth actually looks just like she looked at PCS, except just like age regression.
Yes, I do remember her.
I still have nightmares, and it's been 20 years.
Do you remember Raina Hager?
I remember her too.
The staff were abusive. I think one thing I can say is that they tried really hard to break me. And they caused a few cracks.
I don't think I met your best friend there, but we did find her, Jessica.
Jessica. She was such a badass.
I ended up in an abusive relationship after I left Provo. I'm thinking maybe like being in places where they're abusive to you would make you think that that's a normal way to be.
There's a bunch of police reports we were able to gather, like from 2011 to 2014, 56 calls of assault to Provo Canyon School, and 25 calls to the police in regards to sexual offenses. I'll also forward to, if you want to show this to your parents at all.
No, I love this. No, I want to... I'm just like processing this again.
It's not easy. We all have to get to that point where we're ready to open up about it.
Yeah. I don't know if you have nightmares, but I have nightmares almost every night of me being taken.
Ever since I got kidnapped at 16, like a pin drops and I wake up. This like hyper-vigilance of like every situation. And I think like I still take that with me in like work and stuff like that, where I'm like scoping out like, how do I get out of here? Like what's in the situation? Like
I feel the exact same way about everything. Like even with love and relationships, I never like fully open because I don't even know how to.
You know, one thing I've also seen with other survivors is that because the lines of like tough love and abuse are so blurred, that it's really easy to not see the signs of abuse ahead of time in a relationship.
After being at Provo, you don't even know what love is or how to have a relationship.
You look hideous. I've been in a lot of relationships where people, they just get so controlling and get so angry that they become physical.
How many?
One, like five guys. We just got in an argument. I was trying to leave his house and he just got really mad. Just was grabbing me and pulling me. I don't really remember most of it because I've had worse stuff happen. Just been strangled and phones thrown at me, computers. And I accepted it because I almost thought it was normal. I was like, oh, he loves me so much that he's going this crazy. And I just wanted love so bad that I was willing to accept being hit or yelled at or screamed or strangled or a lot of things. Even the tape. That never would have happened if I hadn't went to Provo. I was just so lost and desperate for love that I found the worst possible person. After being at that school, I just didn't want anyone to know and I didn't want to be embarrassed. I was so obsessed with looking perfect on the outside. That's why I always have to project basically what I think the public wants. And now I see even little girls who are 10 years old, 9 years old, and they're trying to get the perfect selfie. They're putting the filters on. They can't even look at themselves on the phone without putting a filter. I can't even imagine being like a 13-year-old girl today.
Do you feel responsible for it? I mean, many people have said you're the architect of that.
I do feel responsible for it.
Hello?
Hi. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Email. Awesome. Are you ready for tomorrow?
Yes. I'm excited. I'm nervous.
Yes. You're not going to be the only one.
Yes.
The sample photos I sent you, those are from other girls that were in other programs, but I think it kind of maximizes your some of the skills you have as far as social media and raising awareness that way.
Yeah, this is amazing. I love it.
The whole campaign about breaking silence is about coming out and saying, this happened to me, and it kind of empowers others who they were ashamed about talking about before.
I've never discussed this publicly with anyone, so it's going to be like a shock to people, I'm sure, because no one knows.
Oh, yeah. But, like, it's the right thing to do to help kids.
Definitely. I can't even imagine the fact that they have 9-year-olds in there now. Like what?
8-year-olds, no less. 8-year-olds.
My name is Catherine McNamara, and I'm a survivor of Provo Canyon School.
I was force-fed. I was cut off from friends, family.
I witnessed girls be physically and emotionally and sexually abused. I was emotionally abused by staff, by other peers.
What's up? I don't know if we can.
There's no pressure.
Okay. I understand. Thank you.
I witnessed and endured physical abuse, restraints, emotional, mental abuse. I was forced onto medications. I was taught that everything that happened to me was all my fault. I'm speaking out because no child deserves to be punished for expressing their feelings. Especially when that punishment just equals more torture and more trauma. I've got to be done.
That was awesome.
I just came up here because there was just so much to take in. I was like, oh my God, like, I'm not alone. It's not me, and it's not my fault. And sometimes I feel like so many things, but sometimes like this robot and this character that I did, and talking with them, like I started remembering who I was before. And just, I don't know. It makes me sad they took that away. But I don't know, I'm just so confused.
All this brought up so much, I can't even believe it.
It's so crazy. I'm like so happy that we all connected again.
Totally, me too. I think it will probably help you start to want to deal with things that you haven't been dealing with. And I hope that it does.
Me too.
You should live free. And I'm not talking about, like, free to, like, walk around without people watching you. I'm talking about free in your mind and in your heart.
Yeah.
From things that have happened in your life.
One day.